Hello everyone, my name is Keleena. I want to talk to you today about the freedom for women. This video correlates with the video that I did in January for 2022. So if you haven't watched that, go back and watch that. There's a lot of information in there. And a lot of it is correlating to the whole year of 2022, but there's more videos coming because I can't fit it all in one little video. So this one's really important. I did a video on the one for the masculine and the masculine's freedom. And this one is about the feminine, their freedom, but also about the anger the women will go through this year. And I want to talk about that because, again, the grid work that I did in Mexico, and I'm sure there were people in other parts of other countries doing grid work that may correlate with the same stuff. But mine was assigned by Isis. Isis works through me. She's an embodiment that I have chosen, and as well as Ixchel and many others. Mary Magdalene and so many others. So I want to explain this grid work. When I was there in Mexico doing this work on the structures at the pyramids and the Yucatan, the grid work that I had to do, if you go back to the other videos where I talked about how we had to do some stuff, and I was putting codes into a hidden cenote that I had found, which is like a sacred well. And I threw a red rose in there with the codes that I was given. And when I did that, it activated a freedom of these priestesses that were stuck in between dimensions. And when I did that, when that happened and occurred, and we all got thrown back from the energy of these priestesses coming out, Isis said to me, loud and clear in my ear, this is the freedom of all the women on the earth. This is the priestess part of them they have not embodied yet. And it was because of fear. The fears of being burned at the stake, the fears of being put on trial, the fears of, you know, the all different things for actually utilizing your abilities, utilizing the magic within you, which is your inner alchemy, okay? And when that release happened in October, it set forth a motion with also the work that I did on 11/11 on the pulling that computer chip out from under the earth and the underworld, pulling that out to remove the separation that doesn't really exist. What went forth from that is the purging process from 11/11 through December 24th, and it's still going, and it will go. It's been going through January for some of you. For some of you, it's lightened up, and it's going into February. So what this did for the women is this brought up the anger in women from suppression, from being suppressed for thousands of years. And so there's a lot of you that are feeling this right now. This has to come up so that you can come back into your power. You have to let the anger go. At some point you agreed to this anger, not to the anger, but to the suppression. And we are now coming back into a unified field of grace and of knowing ourselves for who we truly are. We've only forgotten from being veiled for so long. So now, with all of the things that have been done and the correlation events that were from the grid work and from what many others may have been doing on the grid to move everyone forward in their process as we're working with Solaris and Mother Gaia, is to help humanity to move forward to become who you are. So as this anger comes up, your angels want you to know that you're being comforted, okay? You're being held in their arms, and that it's okay to be angry for the suppression you've gone through in the past, and also for what's happening now in this moment. But here's the thing. With your embodiment. This is something I'm going to be doing this year in a webinar, helping the women embody that part of their priestess that they have not yet. What's going to happen is it's going to bring that full power back into you, that union of who you are as a divine feminine, as a woman upon the planet, okay? To bring forth that balance within yourself, to balance that masculine and feminine in you. So you're not over emasculating yourself to try and prove anything. Instead, you're in balance with your feminine and masculine and standing in your full power. And I said 2022 is about your strength and your power, your courage. And this is in the strength and power of you knowing who you are, and the strength and the power of you utilizing the abilities that are yours and yours alone. Those are your codes. I'm going to be doing some codes to allow you to awaken at a deeper level and to allow that embodiment of this part of you as the priestess to come back in. That webinar is coming soon, along with the magic webinar I'm going to be doing and a couple others. They're going to be very powerful like the other ones I've done in the past. So get ready for this. If you're ready for this, to embody that full priestess part of you that you have not yet, that is connected to Venus, it's coming. And I feel like women are ready. They're tired of what they've had to go through in the past that no longer exists because it's done. The future isn't occurring. It's only this moment. So now is the time for you to take back your power, because ladies, you have a job now. The women are rising in their full power, in their full abilities, their God-given abilities, and their God-given sovereignty. You have rights to speak up always. And you have rights to speak up for your children, for what you know is right on this earth. Nobody has the right to tell you what to do, and nobody has the right to tell you what to do with your children or your bodies. This is very important, especially the new moms. I've been talking about the new moms in my Patreon, and I've been really expressing where your role is going to be in the next 20 years with these children. It's so important that you really come into your power. Grandmothers, it's important that you stand in your power as well, because many grandmothers take care of their grandchildren throughout the day. And so you need to have that understanding as well, that these children need to be protected by the mothers, by the grandmothers, in the nurturing and the caring, the divine feminine, through the healing and love that we give these children. For those of you that do not have children, you have your own roles to play. You've got the roles to play with the significant part of your abilities to bring those back within you, to embody the priestess that you are, so that you can walk in love and grace and respected for the power that you have within you. You are love, okay? You are light. You are powerful, and you are worthy. And don't forget that ever. You deserve respect. You deserve the best. And you deserve love. One of the things that I need to also express in this video is with this Venus energy. Venus is really, I talked about this in the other video. Venus is, well, no, I'm sorry, it was in the Patreon second half of the month video for my Patreon members. Venus is really, really pushing you into really seeing and feeling what you value in your life, okay? What you value about yourself, what you value about your family, your situation, your relationships, maybe your work, your job, your career, okay? And you're going to be walking away from a lot of things this year that don't feel right. It's all about feeling. The divine feminine is feeling. If something doesn't feel good and you're getting that push, or you're starting to feel ill every time you do something, or you're at a job, or you're living in a certain place, or you're in a relationship with someone and it's not working, you have that feeling that it's time to go. But what I want to say is leave that place in respect for all that it's shown you, because every experience that we have moves us forward in our process, takes us further along on our path of enlightenment for ascension. And this all happens through your awakening. Each time you make a decisions with one of these choice points in your process, you expand your light, you expand your knowing, and you move forward. Tapora cariante, naminya ayaat. Maroshna anna ai, sasaras nakara aya. Little activation there for some of you for confidence, love, and light. So you might be feeling it in different parts of your body. So a lot of you are going to be pushed to really leave situations with this Venus energy, because Venus is about what you value. It's about self-love. It is about abundance, not just abundance in money, abundance in everything. Okay, abundance in what you need in your life. All this stuff comes forward when you make the correct choices on your path and you continue to move forward. There are very many situations where people get in that hold them back from moving forward. And when that happens, the abundance doesn't flow. Okay? It flows when you make the proper decisions on what you're supposed to be doing. And this is for your service and for Source, your service for Gaia. This is true alchemy. This is true alignment. This is true to your inner being, the divine that you are, as you allow it to show you your path in your true strength, in your true purpose. We are all we've ever looked for. We are the love that we seek. We are the magic that we want. We are the truth, behold. And we are one in highest vibration, on highest frequency, when we align with all that we are. May you know your true source is always within. Nadiana Kras, Nasuntatur, Amanai. We have just moved forward from this Venus retrograde, and soon in a few days we'll be moving forward from the Mercury retrograde. The Venus retrograde allowed you to look at your relationships with partners, your relationships with family, with friends, with coworkers, and also mainly the relationship with yourself. And during that time is when you do see the things that aren't working for you. It brings those things up so that you can see what you value. And when we don't value ourselves enough, we hold ourselves back from that movement forward. Valuing yourself is self-love. Venus is all about self-love. And if you didn't catch the interview that I had just recently on Sology, what I talked about is, and he was my partner. What I talked about is the discovery when we were together about how I constantly forgave him for things that he chose to do that were very hurtful to me. However, I forgave so quickly because I wanted to help him with his wounds of his past relationships, but I also wanted to see how this was applicable for the freedom of the collective as well. How can this help the collective? I always put everyone else first instead of myself. And I had to see, as I was being betrayed, I in turn was betraying myself. And that was really powerful when I finally realized that and said, oh, that's self-love. I was out there with this open heart to help everyone else, but I put myself aside. I have done so much inner work from my 20s. I'm in my 50s now, and they're wonderful. But I went through that dark night of the soul way back when I was 22. And it was 3 years of it, but it was really powerful. And I really rose from that afterwards. I really came into that feminine power and that goddess energy. But what I want to say with this, I learned to love myself back then. But we keep going through awakenings with all experiences and situations, with all partners, with family members, with work, whatever it is, however it's brought to us. And when we pay attention to what we're being shown, that's when we realize, oh, this needs to shift, or I need to forgive for this. And you will. You'll forgive yourself and you'll forgive the others. And when you do that in love, everything transforms and is healed. That's how it works. We can't hold anything against anybody. That doesn't work. You can't be angry at people, because the whole process when you're awakening, the whole process of ascension is going through seeing the things from the past lives that are recorded in your DNA to come forward so that you can actually let them go, so that you can release from that, because it's no longer needed. It doesn't serve you. It doesn't serve your highest and greatest good, and it does not serve Gaia. These are the reasons you came back. You came back to do this work. And so many of you are doing it. And you're doing so well, because the light on this planet is so brilliant right now. Doesn't matter what it looks like out there. How does it look in here? This is what's important. Okay? So there are endings happening all over the world for people in relationships, whether it's a partner, family, work relationships, whatever. And it's okay, because when you close those doors and allow in gratitude for everything that has happened, you move forward to the next ones. Okay? And sometimes a few doors down, that same person that may have been in your life before may come back because they've done their work. Or they may not, because the soul contract may be done. So much is happening for the divine feminine. It's time for you guys to really expand yourself. It's really time for you to spread your wings and really fly. To spread your wings and know that you can do anything that you have set your mind to. Anything that is in service to Source, that's in alignment with what you came here to do, that's in alignment with your abilities, your God-given abilities that you have. Once you've utilized your abilities in another life, they're recorded in your DNA. So you will have them and they can be activated in you. That's one of the things that I do in the sessions for people, or at the Sisters of the Rose, or at the other things. I have a lot of events coming this year. I've got one called Reclaiming Your Divine Feminine, which is going to be very powerful. I have one called that I'm doing with my dear sister Raquel Spring. It's going to be called Finding Your Purpose, Anchoring Your Dreams. That's for both men and women. And I also have, oh gosh, so many of them. We have the Sisters of the Rose, and we also have a retreat just for men coming, because the men are waking and they're wanting to know what to do. So we have some goddesses here ready and available where we're going to create a self-container for the men so that they can go through their healing process. And the women, we're going to help because we are the nurturers, we are the caregivers, we are the teachers. And we want to help. We want the men to succeed, and we want the men to move forward in their divine masculinity, not the masculine old program. That's fading away. So ladies, sisters, goddesses, priestesses, you're so divinely loved. When you can let go of the anger and allow yourself to step forward by focusing on your passion, your desires, this is when you bring in that balance. Let the anger go. Dissolve it in love. Know that everything of the past is done and it no longer exists. The future does not exist. It's only this moment of now. And bring yourself into union, the divine mind, the divine sacred heart. These two together, masculine and feminine, expand and amplify all that you are, allowing you to become the best version of yourself. You are the true source. You will be in sacred union with you and Mother, Father, God, Source, the One. You're the Christ child, the divine feminine Christ walking on the planet. All persons have divine feminine Christ consciousness codes. All persons have divine masculine Christ consciousness codes. The feminine have been dormant for a long time. I did do a webinar on that. If you haven't done that, go find the link for it and do it. It's so powerful. It activates it in you. For those that have been to Sisters of the Rose events, that was one of the activations I did there. This is so powerful. We are no longer here to be suppressed, especially in this time right now where your sacred voice is really important. Your sacred voice is part of your strength and part of your power. Don't let anyone shut you down. Don't let anyone take that from you. And use discernment with the people that you work with that try and tell you, you're this, you're that, or you're over here in your process. You're over here. Did you know that you do this? Be very careful. I've had some people do that to me, and I've had to pull back from them going, whoa, whoa, whoa. No, I know my true alignment. You don't. I know my experience. You don't. Okay? When you have somebody that's willing to be open to listen to you, tap in and find the information that only you know, and they bring it through in a session that confirms that this person's real, that's the kind of person you want to work with. Okay? There's a lot of us all over. That's one of the things that I can do, but there's other people too. Okay? Make sure you're going to hire someone, look at their testimonials. I've been saying this for years because you want to make sure you find someone who is true. There's a lot of false prophets out there right now and a lot of YouTube videos with people saying things. Be careful. That's all I have to say. Okay? Just be careful. All right. So, you, sisters, deserve love. You deserve to be loved properly. You deserve love, whether it's from family, a partner. You deserve that respect. All of you. And if you're in a partnership, and you say, this is a one-on-one partnership, that's what you deserve. If your partner does not want a one-on-one partnership, walk away. Be done with it. Okay? Don't put yourself in a situation where you're trying to figure out, how can I help someone else with this? This is not what you need to do. Respect yourself, have self-love, and move forward. If you take a look at the painting behind me, this is one of my newest paintings. You can't see it so well right now because it really has a lot of gold in it. That came through on Christmas Day. That painting, when it came through, all of mine come through when I'm in a trance state. So my higher self, part of an aspect of myself is painting it. And when it was done, about 1:30 in the morning, I heard that this is a priestess of Venus. So there she is. I will put some pictures of her on Facebook and Instagram, as well as YouTube, for you to see it better when the sun is shining, because the gold is just absolutely gorgeous. I never know what's going to be in my videos. There's also light language key codes underneath the painting. That always happens first. And when people are in the room with these paintings that I do, they feel the energy and the activation for what's coming off the paintings. So there she is. This is the year of the priestess. This is the year of you. This is the year of the divine feminine, rising to another level. Are you ready? I am. I look forward to seeing some of you on my webinars this year. And for those of you that just joined my Patreon for the Priestess Path program, we start January 30th, which is tomorrow. They are all recorded. So if you join later than January, don't worry. They're recorded. You'll have access to them later. This is an in-depth study of the Priestess Path. And many of you have awakened to this, but you're not really sure what it is. So I'm going to take everyone to the 12 temples, and we're going to go deeper into that temple and see how it is applicable to you. I will also be doing activations. If you're part of the path of that temple, you will receive the activation. This is going to be powerful. And this is going to assist women with the God-given rights to their freedom that they so choose. We came here to bring freedom back to this earth, to bring that balance. First, you must balance within you. You must balance if you're overly emasculated, okay? Or the other way. You've got to bring yourself back in balance. Te quieras nasuntas, Mariana ayat, naiai. Potur mak narash nasantari, Meriam to krishnaha, Uriana morokua, Tiara nara, te kiras nasyaroka, Nura aya aki, Maya kita ayat. Blessings. Eternal love, eternal light, eternal life. I love you. I love you, sisters. We've got this. Yo soy tu,